What's up guys, it's me your boy SteveRandom here, and in today's video I'm going to be doing the top 3 favorite fragrances of 2017. And I'm not saying these are like my favorite fragrances that I've ever owned. These are just ones that as I started using them more throughout the year and towards even the end of the year, I was falling in love with them. There are 2 samples in 1 bottle, and the 2 samples have run out and they finished beginning of this year, and I was just like saying these might be my next purchases. My phone just rang. But anyways, basically I want to tell you guys my top 3 best fragrances of 2017. I know it's kind of a late video because it's February, so it's been quite a bit since 2017 had ended. And time is flying by, and I hope you guys are doing, being productive and not wasting your time, because time is flying by. Let's start off with this one right here. Parfums de Marly Pegasus Royal Essence, or just Pegasus. Parfums de Marly Pegasus. Man, the first time I smelt it, and if you guys have watched my favorite Parfums de Marly video, first time I smelt this one, it smelled like alcohol and like some creaminess, which I wasn't knowing what the heck was going on in there. But then after, I read the comments and some of you guys were like, something is wrong with it. I came back to it and I was like, what's going on with this one? And I think I posted that video towards the end of the year, but like November, October, I had this during that time, and I was using it a little bit. I got 1 compliment, but it wasn't an overwhelming compliment during that time. That was kind of like I put it on the side because I got a compliment, but it wasn't that impressive, and it wasn't, oh wow, like crazy. So I put it onto the side. But during the end of the year, I came back to it and I was like smelling it, and wow, it hit me like, whew, that smells so freaking good off the sprayer, but on my skin it doesn't smell as good. So the solution to that was to spray it on my clothes. On my clothes, it smelled beautiful, and it still smells beautiful, but the thing is I can't spray anymore because this thing ran out, and I was planning on getting more, but I just might as well just show you the Pegasus Parfums de Marly sample rather than getting another one and just spray it on my hand. There's no point really because I could smell it off the top. Man, it smells so freaking good, but the problem was I sprayed it on my skin and it smelled kind of, alcohol-y and that. So the solution was that just to spray on my clothes, as I said, and it smelled beautiful, and it just sparked up in my list, and I was like, wow, this really smells beautiful, and I consider buying it now. I don't know why I haven't bought it yet. I mean, obviously I did buy Creativentis as my first niche, but I'm willing to expand more into the niche world. I've got more samples, but this one might be another bottle, or a bottle I might be getting soon. Pegasus by Parfums de Marly. Smells terrific. That creaminess of the almond definitely works for the winter and fall the most. I just sprayed on 1 spray, saw how long it lasted. It lasted from 7.5 to 9 hours. But the only time it wouldn't last as long is obviously if I'm wearing a jacket. It wouldn't project, through the jacket as some other fragrances do that are very strong. But this one really smells good. The creamy almond makes it such a rich, creamy scent, which is something if you guys like, you guys should try. That was Pegasus by Parfums de Marly. Next up we have Mancera Cedrat Rosé. Recently one of you guys commented that you guys want to see my take on this fragrance, and I'm gonna do a separate video on that. I don't want to mix it in with this video, but all I have to say is I love this scent. The blackcurrant, the mix of whatever is in there mixed with the blackcurrant, and I love blackcurrant as a smell, as a flavor. It's just terrific. But it smells nice, sweet, bubblegummy, blackcurrant, very playful, nice, and I don't know how long it lasts, but Mancera Cedrat Rosé is one of my top 5 at least from the year of 2017. Basically, moving on to my last one, and if you guys want to see a more in-depth review of any of these, I did though do a Pegasus in-depth review. You guys can check it out. It's my favorite Parfums de Marly fragrance. That's the video. And Mancera Cedrat Rosé I haven't really talked about in-depthly yet, if that's a word. But if you guys want to see that, I'll do that soon. Mancera Cedra Rose is the second one. And the third and the final one is Versace Eros. Versace Eros is a vanilla nightclubish fragrance that is terrific and lasts a long time. Now the first time I kind of reviewed this fragrance, I was like kind of disappointed because it didn't last as long as I expected. But once you try it in the winter, it lasts like a freaking insane amount. Basically, I sprayed this on in the morning before I go to school, and I know some of you guys might be saying, what, you wore this to school? That's crazy. You know, I sometimes wear stuff, you know, wear fragrance to school just to see how well it does or how bad it does. If it does bad, obviously I'm not gonna say, hey guys, wear it at the school. No, I'm gonna say, avoid wearing it at school. But if you're safe and you know what you're doing, you could spray, you know, 1 or 2 sprays of this. It won't kill anybody. But Versace Eros smells like a vanilla. What else? Mint. Some nice sweetness that it has in there. Mixed, you know, the vanilla, the mint. The dry down smells sort of like a playful kind of manly smell, which is nice. It's kind of on the sweet side, but it's still manly, which is a nice combination. And obviously this out of 2017 really, like towards the end of the year, started booming with compliments. I started getting compliments every time I wore this, but this was towards the end of the year, like November, late November, December, where it started booming with compliments. So if I had to say my most complimented scent or my most complimented fragrance of 2017, I would say it was this one. But I didn't really mention that until I found out, you know, towards the end of the year that it was, wow, it got a compliment every time I wore it. And it's terrific, guys. I do not, you know, recommend bad stuff to you guys. I recommend what I think is good, or at least the best fragrance. And I'm not saying this is like the all best, like the best in the world fragrance. I'm just saying that it really did perform and really outmaneuver some of the other fragrances I have, like Valentino Uomo Intense, La Nuit de l'Homme. Towards the end of the year, this one just sparked up all the way up. But this was terrific towards the end of the year. I highly recommend it during the winter and fall. It does last on me for like from 7 to 8. It says 9 hours maximum. All I have to say is that you can wear it to class as long as you're not wearing it like this. If you're wearing it like that, obviously you're gonna get a bad compliment. But if you do a little bit of maybe that and maybe that should be good enough, you know? You might get one compliment, you might get one like, hey, that boy over there smells good. Or you might get like, like it smells too sweet, you know? But experiment, don't, you know, go insane with that. But basically Versace Eros is the last scent of my favorite from 2017. Now, why wasn't there any like Dior Sauvage, any Creed Aventus? The reason why there wasn't any Dior Sauvage or Creed Aventus or anything like that is because Creed Aventus, I recently got a full bottle and it was the beginning of this year, so that doesn't really count. Why is there no Dior Sauvage? Why is there no Jean Paul Gaultier Ultra Male? Why is there no Versace something, Versace Dylan Blue? That's because those I already know are good fragrances. Like Dior Sauvage is like one of my favorite fragrances, and it didn't really do any difference during 2017. But Versace Eros surprised me big time. At the end of the year, it surprised me, like big time. That's why I was like, wow, this is one of my favorite smells of 2017, or one of my favorite fragrances of 2017. This one, I just love throughout the time I smelled this. And throughout the whole time I have this, I'm just every time coming back, smelling it, and just like wishing I have a bottle of it. But Mancera Cedra Rose is just an overall good smelling fragrance. I just wish it lasted longer. And then Parfums de Marly Pegasus also surprised me. Just the smell in depth smells really good. I just didn't get a good experience first time smelling this, so it kind of threw me off. But then I came back to it and I was like, this smells bang, this smells good. And I see why the people are talking about the almond, because it's very rich and creamy and detailed. and in depth, and it lasts a pretty good amount too, lasts 7 hours. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's why I picked those fragrances, and that's why I'm making this video. And maybe, yeah, maybe I can do the top fragrances of 2018 at the end of this year. And hopefully I expand my collection. Almost 12 o'clock now, a.m. And it was a school day, and it's a Friday, and it's time to say bye and say hey to my bed. Peace.